Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be doing a review on Box 2, what I thought about it and how everything went together. So first we're going to be looking at the engine. The engine was fairly interesting. Now the way this one went together, if you didn't pay attention to these blocks right here, they would cause you a problem if you didn't know which way they went. Give me a few seconds here. Let me see if I can find something right fast. I'm looking for something to point to it with. Which I think I got all my stuff packed up after I worked, unfortunately. So, there we go. We'll do this. And then I'll get one of these little micro drill bits out. I don't even have to put it into the drill, I just gotta have something to point with. But anyway, we'll get it. Okay. So, these right here, these block things right here, if they were turned a certain way, like if this right here was up to the top here, you wouldn't be able to push that into the engine. So you have to make sure that's the right way. The snaps went together fairly easy. They just snapped onto the crankshaft down here. They just snapped on. The fiddly part that I was scared of doing was these little doodads right here. Let me see if I can get a good view of them. Here's one. You just get my thing in there. Okay. Right here where you see my bit in there. These right here were fairly fiddly. I had to use a pair of tweezers to press their little parts into place right up here. I had to press the hooks into place. That was fairly fiddly. Another fairly fiddly thing was this catwalk right here. You had to make sure that it was all pressed up in there, and even still then, even though when I made sure, you can see some of it still came back out. So these really don't fasten all the way in like they're supposed to, but it is good for what it is, though. You can see there, they really don't fully fasten all the way in. You can see this catwalk right here is lowered, this catwalk over here is flush, and even when I come over here and try to press it back up, it just doesn't like to do what it's supposed to do. Then over here, you can see there, one's uneven, but it's not too much noticeable unless you're right up on it. These are still threatening to come loose. You can see right there. These will get handled in the next issues that I get a hold of. The next 6 issues. Supposed to be getting 6 in the next shipment. Hopefully we do. And we'll have issues 9 to 14 in shipment 3. Now the way that the engine works is fairly good. There ain't no sticking. You gotta turn anti-clockwise. And you can see there the pistons and everything is turning. The pistons, the crankshaft. You can see everything's turning good. There ain't no sticking. I glued this bar right here on with the Tamiya extra thin cement. Get you a better view of it, how it works from the bottom. Let's see here, anti-clockwise is this way. You can see there. So that works fairly good. The next part we'll be looking over is the hole section. Let me zoom you out here. Okay, so the hole section, what we had to do on this, we had to add a bracket behind the nameplate, which is right here. we added this bracket behind the nameplate. That was fairly easy to do, just following the instructions and fastening it in. And then after that, you could add the nameplate's name and glue it in place, which is what I did. It's glued in place now. I used the Tamiya extra thin cement to glue the nameplate on. This white piece that goes on top, that was fairly easy to do. You just set it on top and just screw it down with 2 screws. And then we got the whole other side of the hole on this side. That was fairly easy to do. Just screw the 2 pieces together by 2 screws that holds it together so far. Yeah, it's not meant to be stuck together, but I had some extra AP screws. I went ahead and I put a screw here and I put a screw there. That way I can hold the pieces together until I get my next shipment. Because in the next shipment, the next issue, issue 9, is when you finally stick them together. Because we don't have our other white piece yet. We'll be getting that in issue 9. This has already been printed on. It's like a whole piece with the Titanic name already printed on. You can see it's 3D popping out. The fit, from what I see, goes together fairly good. No gapping. I don't see no gapping. I still have the problem where, you know, the hole is not quite centered. But as I can see, once the force gets to pushing, it gets its force. It's a pushing force. When it gets some brackets in there, or the spacers, whatever they are, it should fix that. Right down in here at the bottom, you can see when I press that seam goes together quite well. The nameplate, it's like a big old block. You can tell it's like a block, but that kind of in a way looks realistic to me because it looks like a plate. And the same way with this, the way this is going like a puzzle, it kind of looks realistic to me, like a plate, like plates sticking together. So that doesn't bother me at all. I'm okay with that. And then our next thing to go over is our forecastle. So I did a whole lot of work to the forecastle, as you can see. I like my modifications that I've done on it. And like I've said before, these 2 little circle pieces right there that you see in my videos, this is cardstock paper. Just glued to the deck with tacky glue and painted. These are pieces of wire. I'll show you the wire that I used. I used basically this wire. It's like a wire that's already black. I used that. And I made those bars that come out and lead into the anchor chains. This is a photo etch from the 1/350 Titanic scale model. This is cardstock paper. These have been glued down with the nail glue, the nail super glue. That's been glued down. The cleats are right there. The cleats were a little stubborn to get in. I had to open up the hose a bit with the X-Acto blade. Now these right here were very fiddly and stubborn to get in. These little valves. And in the instructions, it tells you to put the valves on facing, both of them facing this way. Well, it looks like that. Basically, this would be over here facing that way. But the instructions are telling you incorrect. The steam valves go on this way. One faces out to this end, one faces out to that end. You can look at pictures online of the Titanic and see that. So, I corrected that. The color was wrong. The color was white. I painted it the samurai sword color to fix that. I painted the steam winches green. I fixed up this little winch system. Used that same black wire that I just showed you and added some extra detail to the winch system. Cardstock paper right here on that. Cardstock paper on the hatch cover. But that's how far we have gotten on the build so far, another thing I'm going to show you. I have a weighing scale here. And we're going to weigh how heavy this thing is getting so far. So we'll do that. We'll let it go to 0. We'll take the 2 pieces of the hull of the ship. That's how heavy the hull of the ship is with just the 2 pieces. But if we take the engine, which you know it's going to be in the boat too, and we insert the engine into the hull of the ship, you can see now we're 1.42 pounds. And then this little thing is a piece of plastic. It weighs nothing. But I'll try to see if I can add it in there too. I may not be able to do it. I don't want to break anything. Okay, I can't add that one with it. But you can see right there with the engine and the 2 pieces of the metal hull. You can see that's the weight that we have right now. Let me move this boat back a bit. Right there, 1.42 pounds. And that is with both the engine and the hull of the ship on the weighing scale. Now with just the hull of the ship, that right there is how much just the 2 pieces of the hull weighs. And then we'll take off the hull of the ship, and we'll put just the engine on. And you can see that the engine weighs 56. Now we'll take off the engine and we'll put this little plastic piece on that has the wooden deck. And that weighs only 13. Now you can see the ounce. So yeah, that's the weigh-in so far of the ship. I can't wait to see how much heavier it's going to get. But that's going to do it for this video. You all have a blessed one. And I will continue to see you guys in my next videos. And there's the little thing. I can't use this yet because the ship does not stand up right now. But they did supply you with that. But I'm excited to get the next shipment. But until then, you all have a blessed one. And I will see you guys in my next videos. And goodbye.